Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom. We are now trying to understand why there are 7 levels of different aspects of divine nature. In this process, I have made this particular video saying even Sanskrit language, which is the divine language, Shruti, Devanagari, has 7 levels itself. And I'm talking about Sanskrit 7 chakras or 7 centers of consciousness. And right at the bottom I've written spiritual science of the 7 foundations of Sanskrit and association with 7 main chakras which are known in the world from Tantra Vidya. But let's understand why there's 7 in Sanskrit, what exactly does it mean, and how do we find this particular wisdom to make a difference to understand the phonetic sound of the universal consciousness, and why experience of Sanskrit can make us understand the voices which are there in the universe as such. As I say, this is Shruti, directly heard mantras of the universe found in Vedas and Upanishads and other scriptures which find the foundation of mantras and chakras, and yantra and tantra and ganit have very divine consciousness which I have shown to the world in the form of Divyank again. Now let's take this particular picture and understand the concept of 7 chakras levels in Sanskrit itself. Now, an honest statement. I make Sanskrit. The scriptures composed and compiled in Sanskrit script made me recognize, conceive and reveal the divine design of nature, Divyank. Had I not seen those yantra, mantra and tantra of Sanskrit language, I wouldn't have been able to recognize, conceive and reveal Divyank as it is. And with the help of Divyank, I am able to understand there are 64 arts and sciences with the impeccable wisdom which everybody should understand. So there is a uniform syllabus for every student, every researcher, every author, every teacher, every professor throughout the world. So there is a uniformity and everything. And that uniformity should be continued from east to the west, north to the south, to every student throughout the world, a uniform syllabus which is not available as on today. This division of giving different subjects descriptions to different people, we are not creating a uniform society for world peace. My desire is only language can bring peace. There is a big statement of 2 lines in Hitopadesh. Vidya dadati vinyam vinyat jati patratam patratam cha dhana uptipati cha dharam cha sukham. If we want a sukh for everyone, we need impeccable wisdom, which I find Sanskrit has given me a better knowledge than any other language in the world to have a very precise, concise wisdom which is as perfect as the divine nature. Sanskrit. Let's understand the meaning of Sanskrit. San, just sam, is the first word which means equilibrium. It is Samadhi stage. S means good qualities. Saputra means good, Kaputra is bad. That's Krit is an action, is a movement. So, in other words, it's a Shruti that directly heard sound vibrations which are there from A to the end. As such, at 52 letters. Script is also called Devanagari, that means again divine nature. Let us explore, enumerate, and explain Sanskrit so that we can educate, enlighten, and everyone fully for the universal peace. This is Vasudev Kutumbam, and uniform wisdom for everyone is essential, and whole objective of Akhand Vidyashram is to produce impeccable wisdom for everyone in the world for uniform knowledge, Gyan, Vigyan, Pragyan, Akhandata of the uniformity for everyone for world peace. Now come to the question of 52 Aksharas. Now you can see the 52 Aksharas which are seen by everybody. First you see 16 vowels. A, E, U, A, E, O, O. 3, 3. Li, Re, Rang, Aha. These are the 6 sounds which are very clear, which have told me how they start phonation from pelvic region, Muladhara chakra, and how we move up from pelvic, our legs, to the head and beyond by these 16 sounds itself of the vowels. Then you have K, K, G. You are going to see all these letters right up to Gyan. We'll see as we proceed step by step and say how beautiful is the phonetic sound. When we talk of these things, the entire body should vibrate. And you should feel all the 100 trillion cells within the body to be perfect in everything. This phonetic sound itself, mantras itself, can transform all the defects within the body because they cover all the 100 trillion cells. Now come to the question of first 16 valves which are connected with Vishuddhi chakra, which has got 16 petals. Now when I talk of Vishuddhi chakra 16 petals, there are actually 8 pairs of nerves coming from this region, although the vertebrates are 7, but another hide is also included with that. So actually that's 16. And these sounds which I told you are originating in the throat alone. But you feel their vibration right from the soul, right up to the head, systematically step by step coming up. Once you experience that while saying, then this becomes a mantra by itself. All the 16 volts itself are greatest mantra for covering all the 21 to 22 levels of human consciousness, right from soul to Muladhara this to higher also. You can come and you are going to see the same thing in Om again. I'm going to talk about it as we come to that particular stage. Now, as I told you, the mantra sounds, as in this picture, I've written the same thing which I told you. Start from the bottom to the up step by step, and all the major chakras are activated, and I make it. When we talk of the major chakras, I talk of 10 chakras, I don't talk of 7 chakras. As such, or even 6 chakras, I don't talk about. Sat Chakra Nirupana is a book on Tantra which talks about 6 chakras. I am bringing a new concept from today, Sapt Chakra Varanium. So Nirupana, I have brought it to Nirupana means creation. Varanium is light. And this Varanium is light which we need, and that leads to enlightenment, empowerment, and education as such. So you're going to see that word also coming up from today in my writings. Sapt Chakra Varanium. And that is what Gayatri is. Tat Savitur Varanium is what Sapta Chakra Varanium. Now come to the question of Sanskrit consonants, Vyanjan, Vyakhari, and this is with Udana Prana. As you see, when the breath is moving up in the throat, is what you're going to experience while sounding these 5 into 5 consonants of 25. The sound moves in the lower part of the throat and closing to the lips, step by step. When you start, say, ska and come to the ma, you can see the real change from bottom of the throat to the lips movement you can feel with yourself. And that is the beauty of this language, because this Brahmins who wrote this language, scripted this language, word this language, did with all of experiments. And I make it very clear. I'm a spiritual scientist. I'm a trained medical doctor, an artist, mathematician, everything. I do with a specific theory and experiment and do evaluate the results with mechanical instruments and power spectrum analysis to see how beautiful these are. I don't go by philosophy. This produce the results which is required. You're going to see that also as I move on with the kind of experiments I've done within my work and my students' work as such. Now these are the 25 sounds. Now I'm going to show you. There are 5 families of consonants, 5 vargas within these 25. You have ka, cha, ta, ta, and pa. Now, in all you have 5 each. You have ka on one side, cha on one side, ta on one side, ta on one side, and pa. But here you would have seen, when it comes to the English language, which has 26 letters, which is half of 52, you have a confusion even writing word ka, even cha, even ta, or ta, or pa. And that is the problem with most of the languages of the world. You don't see the word and pronounce exactly the same what is required. But in Sanskrit, you have no confusion whatsoever. You at the same time, right at the bottom, I have put 5 different things: glutal, palatal, retroflex, dental, and labial. You're going to see what I mean by as we start proceeding to understand Sanskrit's shabd or Akshar as such. When I say Akshar, it from Akash. Akash means the universal consciousness. Even the word is written as Akshara because it comes from that side. It's not come from a man-made concept, which is sectarian or defective in any way. Now come to the question of first line. The first family of consonant Vyanjan is. The glottal stop is a type of consonant sound used in many spoken languages, produced by obstructing airflow in the vocal cord, or more precisely the glottis. So then glottis, which is airflow, is there. We are obstructing that. When you say k, you are obstructing that, you are restricting inside. And that is why it's called glottal or glottal. The symbol in the International Phonetic Alphabet that represents the sound is a glottal. That's the lower part of the throat. You can really feel when you sound k, k, g, g, g. You got to experience where exactly you are feeling it. And that is lowest part of the throat into larynx, and that is the thing which sound is produced. Let's take it. When come to the ch, ch, j, 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 is the second family of consonants. It's a palatal consonant in the consonant that is pronounced with the body, the middle part of the tongue against the hard palate. Tongue and hard palate, which is the middle part of the roof. Now you literally got the tongue as such. There is only one palatal sound in English, which is ye, or like y in English word yes. Yes, it is part of this particular second family itself. The second sound level in throat is, as I told you, tongue and hard palate. There is a relationship moving from glottis to little up. Then third is t, th, d, d, n. This is the third family. It's called retroflex. Retro means back, is movement in phonetics. It's a constant sound produced with the tip of the tongue curled back towards the hard palate. Again, that was first middle part of the tongue. Now the tip of the tongue, which is going towards the hard palate. Now you can see the movement, how the sounds have been perceived and given. But if you say that, you can really see the difference, feel the difference. In a Russian, the sound of sh or z, like the sound in a pleasure, are retroflex. There are also many retroflex sounds in Indian languages. One of the best example, I say, Tamil is written as a Tamil, R. R is very specific. And I have brought R in this Sanskrit language too. That exactly. Many people say that Ra is not there in Sanskrit, which is not true. You have that in Ta, Tha, Dha, Dha, Na. Once that Tamil comes, you see the font of the fourth letter is Ra only. And that Tamil is very clear, explicit, they take pleasure in it. I also take pleasure because I enjoy Tamil language even much more from the variety of possibilities which are there. Number of letters in Sanskrit is 52, but number of letters in Tamil is much more there. But there is a problem in consonants described as such. So that deficiency made up with the more letters which are there in Sanskrit. So understanding Tamil, getting to understand those phonetic sounds has made me appreciate the beauty of Tamil as an expression language as such. Let's give that credit also to Tamil. Then come to the, the, na. This is a fourth family, and there is something you can see, associate tongue against the upper teeth. Now, tongue has come from middle of this to the heart palate to heart palate to now moving towards teeth itself. Tongue to the teeth, inside to the tongue, back portion, middle portion, now to the teeth itself is coming through. So the, na is coming. In some language, dentals are distinguished from other groups such as alveolar consonants in which the tongue contacts the gum ridge itself. Now, it's the teeth, and we're talking about gum ridge. So even that particular sound, once it's understood, you can understand how beautiful it is, the description of 52 letters for you to experience that. Once you experience that, and then the words which are written in Sanskrit scriptures are based on, each word is based on certain concept, you can experience that within me. Just say Bhumi. I can tell you, when I say Bhumi, I feel one with earth element. When I say Tat, I know I am with the universal conscious. Say Tat Twamasi is not I am like God. Tat means divine nature. Tvam means everything. Asi, everything is identical. That should give you feel as you are one part of the world as such, part of Akhandata. Once those are the mantras and those are the concepts, we are going to talk about it as we move on. But you can see the beauty of Tat with this Ta itself. Tathasu also you see within that. So many things like a dhanam is also with that. Jnanam is also that. So once it is understood, you can understand how in a music in Sanskrit, like Hindustani or Carnatic music, the words are designed in such a way that you can experience the beauty within your body. And some of the artists like Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma, I have experienced whatever rag he speaks, whatever rag he plays on santoor, I can feel the vibration moving from down right up to even Bhageshri for the first time. Without an experience of these things, I felt the rising of energy there. And that was the first awareness. After that, I have done about Charasias, many other musicians who have classic phonetic vibration affecting the physical body, and they have really given me the awareness of myself and then with the universe as such. And I am grateful to all these artists who have laid great music which can itself vibrate. And you, even in my videos, there is second Divyank Dhwani is the designed music by Parvati to cool Lord Shiva, and it is based on Malcolm's, and you're going to show it. And that can make a real difference in bringing your autonomic nervous system to equilibrium, to reduce all the tension, anxiety, neurosis within the body. And there were all the problems which are there with blood pressure, diabetes, or anything with the sympathetic overactivity, like a psychosomatic disorders of Kundalini syndrome, can be rectified, provided food and exercise is also taken at the same time. I make it very. The music works along with the food, which is Ayurvedic origin, and of course, yogasanas, pranayam, meditation. It's a full package of 64 arts, which give you the complete. Food cannot be underrated. Music can also be added. Exercises and whole process of becoming a pure human being. All the 64 arts have to be understood. That's what my point is. I have come to Divyank because from since childhood, I've been trying to become a perfect Brahman who's in tune with Brahman. Nirankar Nirgun Brahman, which is the ultimate quality of nature. And incidentally, if you take the 16th letter involves aha, swaha is the nth letter. Once you reach that, you are in with universal consciousness. And that gives you the totally a different thing. No doubt when we do the Jagya, Ant is also Swa Aha. Swa Aha. That's the beauty. Now come to the question of Pa, Fa, Bha, Bha, Ma. These are the fifth family of consonants, and very clearly, we started from the glottis. Now we have come to the labials. These are labial consonants are in which both the lips are active articulators. Now you see the movement step by step. Once you understand that and you do this sound with complete awareness of experiencing it, I do not know you should articulate it. Just say the sound and feel for yourself where do you see it. Similarly, Sapt Swaras. When you say Sa, it should make you feel one with Muladhara Chakra only. That's it. Then two common labial articulations are bilabial. Both the sides, both of them, articulate using both the lips. Labiodental, again, lips and the teeth, articulate with the lower lip against the upper teeth, both of which are present in English and also in Sanskrit, in many other languages I see. So when you say pa, fa, bha, bha, ma, as such, you should feel the difference of each word, but more or less with a labial connotation only. Once you understand that Sanskrit in this particular way, you know very well all the five families of consonants are understood. When come to the question of third level of 11 Varnamala are letters. These are the combination letters. Approximate and quantitative and qualitative, everything is as such. Precise to the point. They are not single what others have. These are the combinations. These combinations to enhance the divine Sanskrit. In other words, you bring the start from Aksharas, which are the first, let's say 16 plus 25, 41 are Aksharas alone. But here you are literally come to Shabda also coming together. It's a combinations. And based on that, Akshara and Shabda, letters and words, you make the Devanagari a perfect. So as a result, there are three pillars of Sanatana Dharma are well known. Mantra Vidya, Tantra Vidya and Yantra Vidya. And I as a spiritual scientist, I am bringing very clearly the Ganit Vidya as a fourth component. Without the divine mathematics, you cannot understand the beauty of any language completely. At the end, the language of the divine nature is divine mathematics. And mother of all the sciences is divine mathematics. If you want to understand all the 64 arts and sciences as such, you need divine mathematics. So fourth level of Ganit Vidya makes it complete. And when you bring this, then you say, well, when I sound the word ya, ra, la, va, sha, sa, ha, sham, tra, gya, you get to real beautiful sound vibration within your throat. And that gives you udhana prana. That gives you one rising to the universal consciousness. And incidentally, all these are closely associated with throat, Vishuddhi chakra, vocalization, and purity of that comes only when you have everything only within that, but you experience that connected with the rest of the body too. That is the beauty of Sanskrit's 7 levels as such. And once that is done, you are through to the language, to the level which is unheard of to the best of my knowledge. I am nearing 70 plus plus. And in that, I have been very close to every language of India. I make all my patients speak to me in their mother tongue to feel the emotions. Because when you talk in your mother tongue, which you're born with, all your complaints and all your expression is much better than that. So when we should always be very aware of our mother tongue, because that gives you how we speak about it. And then go and learn certain things from others and then experiment in the light of your own mother tongue. In the process, you understand entire languages of the world. You'll find every language is giving another additional information. And that may be because I'm a linguist I know all the languages, and I make the people tell me their complaints in their language, mother tongue, and I'm able to feel the same vibration which they have felt. And that itself gives me the problem base cause within my body. If she's seeking that, and this should be the complaint. When then to treat that is much easier because I and my patient become one. And that is reason I am called. He's a Kai Rashi doctor. Me, he knows the feeling because I make that then talk to me in their language. And that is my description to every. Do not expect someone to talk to you in their other language other than mother tongue. But you should be equipped enough to on all the languages so that you can experience the beauty in yourself. And that is where I still say your mother tongue is the best because you have chosen it. But then you have learned as many languages as possible because not everybody is sensitive enough to understand. You got to bring your emotions to understand others by asking them in their language and you feel it. Then you'll find almost every language majority is constant, is similar. And once you understand, appreciate the beauty of every other language, you become a multi-language. Nobody asked me not to speak to to anybody other than Dogri or Pahadi. But I know Dogri, I know Pahadi, I know Punjabi, I know Kashmiri, I know all the languages of India. I can even understand all the movies which are speaking in different languages of the world. I don't need a translation. I don't see the subtitles. I just want to feel the scene the way they are speaking about it in different languages, including Russia, Chinese, etc. I can feel the one which they're trying to talk about it. And once you come to that stage, you start appreciating that original language is 1,000 times better than this. But to reach that level, you got to understand these phonetics, which is beautifully designed in Sanskrit itself, much more descriptive. Now come to the question of 52 aksharas and their association with 7 chakras. Mooladhara chakra, which is lowest part, and I would connect from soul dropped off to tailbone is Mooladhara chakra. 7 levels. There are only 4 petals. They are connected with sympathetic nerves, 2 going to the legs and 2 going up Ida and Pingala. That's simple. Swadhisthana has 6 petals. There are S2, S3, S4 into 2 is 6, is connected with sacrum region. So Nabi is a lumbar region. There are 10 nerves as such, and I can experience it beautifully. When it comes to Anhata, the chest level, there are 12, but there are 12 bones. But I have brought together another chakra between Nabhi and Anhata as a Usha, which makes 6 plus 6 as a 12 and 12. Then Vishuddhi chakra, 16 lotus petals, very clear, the vertical sounds. Gyan, there are 2 lotus, which right up to this is known in Tantra Vidya. Sat chakra Nirupana talks about it. But Vigyan is not put as a 2. But Sanskrit made me realize that without Vigyan, you cannot have 7 chakras. No, Sat chakra Nirupana talks of 6 only. Now I am bringing together as a Sat chakra Nirupana, or I would call it Sat chakra Varanium. Nirupana is a structure. Varanium is light. So you take to the light which can give you the enlightenment. At the last 2 words, which are phonetically sound with Om itself, you can go to see that. Now you can see the structure of Sanskrit aksharas. Mooladhara chakra right at the bottom. Imperial, ganglia and imperial are 4. Then 6. Then you can see 10. You can see 12. 16 and 2. These are the things which are there in Sat Chakra Nirupana as such as the 50 itself. So there is no doubt right up to this. But without hypothalamus too, this system is not complete because at the end, the organ which controls all the system of the nervous system below hypothalamus is hypothalamus alone. So only with the hypothalamus we can complete the reptilian brain which you see in Satchakra Nirupana or you can see in Sapt Chakra Varanium. You need to go to light of the reptilian brain As such, you got to come to the 7th level, and that is hypothalamus. That is the two in Sanskrit I found. Now, with the help of Sanskrit, I'm bringing structure of 7, not as 6 as such. Now, I have now changed the word from Sapt Chakra Nirupana to Sat Chakra Vareniyam. That is the light spiritual science of 7 chakras. Let's experience the reveal as sung, as move on step by step. Now, Mooladhara chakra has got only 4 sounds. Va, Sa, Sha, Sha. And this Sa is very clear because phonetic sound of Mooladhara chakra is SA. So that's why when you see Sapt Swara as such, Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni, Sa. Starting from Sa to the last Sa, you have in the Mooladhara chakra. But when you come to the sound Bija mantra of Mooladhara chakra is Lam. And it's very interesting because the Lam is the sound of Mooladhara chakra and it is found in many, many languages of the world. And maybe the language which brings the language is Arabic language and Sanskrit language closer is one word, Lam. It's Alif Lam Mim in Arabic language and Lam in Sanskrit. Mooladhara chakra have very thing connected with each other. And now wonder the classical raga Malkauns, which is Hindustani classical, and Hindulim, which is Carnatic, have got this word Lam itself. If you say Mal, M-A-L, is L-A-M. Hindulim, last is L-A-M. So Lam is there, and the Malkauns is designed in such a way which starts as a creation of sympathetic system down to sacral parasympathetic to subduction of sympathetic to the cranial parasympathetic, and that is the rag which is there in the second at Dhwani, Divyang Dhwani, which starts with Ojas, which is in sexual energy to start with, and many other people who talk about Malkauns and Hindulam, this is erotic rags. I agree. Initial stage is Ojas, testosterone, estrogen as such coming. But when you designed, I have designed Divyang Dhwani in such a way, you start with the Ojas, which is sacral parasympathetic, testosterone as such. Then when come to the sympathetic system, Sa, Re is there. When you got Pa, Pa, middle part of sympathetic is made subdued. So there is not much of sympathetic system as such. But when you come to the last part, you have a predominance of cranial parasympathetic again coming up. So as a result, Ojas is converted into Tejas. That means the power which makes the human body very strong. Testosterone is very important for you to have RBC, oxygen, muscles, intelligence, everything is connected with testosterone only. Anyone who has a perfect testosterone level, even at 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, is going to have a very powerful muscular body, very healthy body, lot of blood, lot of oxygen, lot of energy. Also, the intelligence, also in Tejas form, is again testosterone when converted from testosterone to estradiol through aromatization in the testis itself. But that this particular raga, Malkauns and Hillondum, does wonders as such. But in the process, it will bring down all the sympathetic activity, have a predominant parasympathetic activity, particularly vagus standing up later. Because our rest, digestion, and conservation of energy is with the vagus alone. Converting into vagus predominance is the role of Divyang Dhwani as such. And with that, all the problems of system can be rectified. Number one. Now come to the question. Mooladhara is connected with the Mother Earth, which is a female planet again. Now I'm bringing another concept. It's a female planet. And solid Earth has got 38.1 matter alone. And sense is the perineal gland, is connected with smell. If this chakra is good, your smell is going to be perfect. And as the dogs can smell anything, even human beings, spectrum of smell will increase once your Mooladhara chakra is perfect. And that is again coccygeal ganglion impar associated as a mula. So this is the first stage as such. Then Swadhisthana chakra, the phonetic sound is warm. First is lam, this is warm. This is center of procreation of human race. And that you have connected with water as such, you can see the crescent down water. First is solid, second is water. These two are the things are absolutely essential for you to be perfectly, physically and perfectly healthy. If you want to be healthy as such, you need a perfect solid element of 38.1966% and water of 61.8034. Once you understand these two concepts, have think Mooladhara Swadhisthana, only then you can be perfectly healthy, wealthy, wise and human. Without that, you can't move on. And Vamamag is again connected with sexuality. And this is where Sanatana Dharma makes it very clear. Getting married, having family, staying together, having children for the next generation as a Prithararin is very important. You have to have a Bhumirin, you have a Pitrarin, you also have a Devarin. All the three once are done, we are done with lower two chakras itself. Once these two chakras are third Navi chakra is there, you can be super intelligent as such. Now, coming to the Venus is the second chakra, is a female planet again. First is also female, second is also female. And it's very close to Mother Earth. And it's a sacral parasympathetic system. And the water content is 61.8034. And that is the Amrit which I am talking about. Now come to the Nabi. It's the third level. It's that fire triangle you can see coming down. And the 10 lotus petals are there. And the phonetic sound is Ram. Lam, Vam, Ram. And anybody who says Ram, Ram, Ram in direct or indirect form, I see that almost in Arabic as well as Sanskrit language, Ram being used very, very much. Lam is used, Ram is used. These two words are very common between Arabic and Sanskrit. And when you say Ram or Ramazan or Ram as such, Navi chakra becomes very important. When Navi chakra is very important, adrenal gland is very important, your formation of mineralocorticoids, corticoids, endorphins, and catecholamines is so perfect that you, like a Ravana, you can have 10 stages of living together once again. And that is what you're going to see in this particular thing. It's a Mercury. It's a neutral Kanya project. That, as I told you in the beginning, Mercury is a hermaphrodite, is close to the sun, but it is neutral. That means you are literally like a female who is not menstruating. It's not a male, it's not a female, but she has got a potential of both male and female within her. And she has a good combination of testosterone and other things. And that gives you fire element Agni Bhuta. And that is what I'm talking about. It's closer to adrenal gland, testosterone and estrogen. Testosterone through aromatization can convert to estrogen, estradiol. That is why Mercury has got a very neutral process. It can give you the power of sympathetic and parasympathetic, both as such. Mineral will preserve water, sodium as such, and through excess potassium. Glucocorticoid will contain good quantity of glucose, and third will give you androgens, and fourth will give you adrenaline. Such a perfect thing will make you survive come what may. Your system is perfect with Navi chakra as such. Then come to the fourth of Anahata, is the air or Vayu element. There are 12 petals and 12 letters. And the sound is Yam. Lam, Vam, Ram to Yam. Now you see this sound. If you say again Lam, Vam, Ram and Yam, you can see the feel how you are moving towards from lower to the throat level itself. This way Udhana Prana has started. And the sounds of 12 lotus petal is there, is what we are already see as such, much more precisely. Then it is sun, the core. It's connected with air element, Vayu element. It's connected with the heart, lungs, blood vessels and chest. So it revolves around air as such. So that means it helps you to get more oxygen and circulation which is there in Anahata Chakra. No wonder when testosterone is abundance, you will have a perfect RBC count. When RBC count is perfect, hemoglobin level is more, thereby the oxygen is going to be more. If you want a perfect oxygen content, you got to have very good testosterone and you should have very good RBCs and they should be oxygenated. And that will give you more power for brain to function. Your oxygen content has to be pretty high. Good. And me, nearing 70 plus, my RBC count is still same as perfect and hemoglobin 16 grams per 100 ml. I think that speaks volume, and I make sure my food contains enough of material which have a steroid procedure to produce testosterone as such. No wonder even at 70 plus my body is same as a 21 which I had almost 50 years ago. And it is because of combination which I am talking about. Now the considered sound is Vishuddhi Chakra at the fifth level, which is Akash Bhuta, the fifth level of consciousness. Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam and Hamsa. Now you see the movement going up. When you come to the movement here, you can see all the phonetic 16 sounds of vowels are very clear there. And you can see from down up. But concentration of Hamsa, you see the movement, center is throat, but from down up you can experience. Once you can experience that connectivity, all the channels, 72,000 nadis, can open up completely here. Once that is done, you are one with universe consciousness. You will have the quintessence or essence or Akash Bhuta, all the five elements you can experience beautifully by this itself. Once Vishuddhi is complete, all the five chakras are complete. You can prefer, you can experience even the divinity within you. Even Nirankar, Nirgun, Brahman, through iodine, as an ion of iodine having 54 electrons, you can feel one with Nirankar Nirgun like xenon itself. And I have experienced that, that's why I'm able to talk about it. That's why Atma is very important. Elements itself can be converted into Atmic level and experienced within the body. You need to have the purity within you. Now comes to the question, Mars is a male planet, it's not a female planet. It is not a neutral planet. It is not the sound. It is not the reflection. But that's the beauty which we have seen within Sanskrit itself. You have the mind, you have the intelligence, you have the male, you have the female, and you also have the neutral. All the things as such. There's a sound of power, vocal phonic energy can give you. Now, I'm bringing another thing very clearly. When you come to Vishuddhi Chakra, it's the thyroid gland and it produces thyroid hormone, which is thermogenic, which is produced with the use of iodine ions, which has 54, and then they would give you the heat which is required for you to be perfectly healthy. No wonder Lord Shiva, who lives in Kailash, needs perfect Vishuddhi Chakra, iodine, thermogenic thing, so that he can live without any difficulty there. Again, as a male component is Lord Shiva. Now the comes to the next chakra is the sixth is Ajna Chakra. That is mean you shield and vomiting. There are two petals and two things, hum and sha. These are two sounds are very clear at higher levels of consciousness. And the sound is Om. I have put A-U-M-A. But that is again sound. You come to this stand slowly as such. But you can see this part hum. Right up to this is Sat Chakra, Nirupana talks about it. And 50, agree. But then it brings it down to the stage of asteroid belt, which again, like Trishanku Loka, hanging heaven, it's not as such, but is a bridge between solid inner planets, right from Sun to Mercury to Venus to Earth to Moon to Mars as such, which is solid movement inside, to the one which is outside like Jupiter and Saturn, which is subtle. But you can experience that. But this is the bridge between that two. So it becomes a place which can be connected with Trishanku Loka who wanted to go to heaven, when was sent there, could not reach. So finally his body is found in asteroid belt as such. That's it. Now come to the seventh level, Vigyan Chakra, which I talk about it, the seventh. It's a hypothalamus. Now I'm making it very clear. Only hypothalamus is the center in the brain, which is the end center for autonomic nervous system, endocrine system. I make it very clear. Unless until autonomic nervous system, endocrine system, and nervous system as such work together as the neuroendocrine glands, only then completion. Without hypothalamus, things are not complete, because it produces releasing hormones which are picograms, and the universal consciousness is very high there. Without hypothalamus, reptilian brain is not at all complete. This is the real enlightening seventh level, and I am very happy by putting the sutra and gya there along with the om, which I made 50 years ago, with a very clear, it is a, akara, yukara, makara, and thuriam. When all the three are understood within you, then you have literally understand 22 levels of consciousness within the seven itself. Akara is 7 level, Yukara is 7 level, Makara is 7 level, then Turiya is the 22-7. That is what Mandukya Upanishad is talking about. To reach that level, you reach that only once you come to Vigyan Chakra. That gives you the science. A Gyan to Vigyan. You come to that. At least you start becoming a scientist of the truth, consciousness, perfection as such. And as a result, you become one with reptilian brain. Once you one with the reptilian brain, you have come to realize the inner self within that. If you look at the nervous system of the reptilian brain, all the gray matter is inside. And once Atma is into the Brahmanadi, then you can experience the beauty there by stimulating hypothalamus itself. That is the ventricles of the brain. You can experience that only once you experience that particular state. That is what I say, unless until all the 64 arts and sciences you understand, only then you will be able to understand Tantra Vidya. Otherwise, not possible. It is not sectarian. It's a full package, Akhandata. And that is what I'm talking about. Now come to the question of the center of spiritual science is again Jupiter planet, which is intelligence planet. I make it very clear. It is intelligence. And now the distance between score of the sun to Jupiter is 790. If you divide that by 15 million, which is 1/10 of astronomical unit, you come to 52. Is it a coincidence or the divine plan? And that is where I say, if perfect human being is meant for human consciousness, is made with Divyank alone, and all these are together, only then you can understand the beauty of the entire universe as such. And I think that is what it is all about. Now come to the last part. I'm not going to talk. The same thing is reflected here in the Ida, Pingala, Sushmana, in the Brahmanadi, and the ventricle, and Atma, and flight, everything as such. You can see the reptilian brain down, then you can see the birds, you can see the mind, and then you see the higher consciousness. Everything is there. I think that should be more than enough for the day. Thank you very much to understand that Sanskrit language, 7 levels, give you the power of all the basic foundation words. I'm talking about basic, but you can go on building more and more. As such you go, because the combination is phenomenal. That there is never ending thing. But this 52 phonetic basic sound has to be understood. Rest are only combinations after that, thereafter. That's it. I think that should be enough. Thank you very much.